Well, y'all had a Herculean task having to deal with the death of Mr. Hagman and keep production going. It was over the holiday break. I watched each week not knowing how you were doing it, how you kept Larry on screen for episodes 6 and 7 and 5. Have you all caught up on the episodes? Last week's in particular just blew me away. And in case you missed it, let's watch it right now. Let's see when John Ross found out that JR was... Michael, how'd you do that?
Well, Larry passed away when we were doing episode 5. And there were scenes that we had scripted for the end of 5, for all of 6, and a plan for 7. And we kind of figured something out for 6. And then Cynthia instructed the post-production staff to find any scenes that Larry had not been in, and then also to locate all of the dialogue that we had of Larry's, because we were thinking that we would construct a phone call. We were thinking we were going to be able to, put dialogue onto the phone side of it all. And Adam Blooming, who was the editor of episode 7, what you just watched there, in working with Rodney Charters, who directed that, Adam found that there were 2 lines, and then that last moment that were all from the same scene. And so he cut them in and cut the picture in against those lines. And those pieces were swiped from episode 204 this year, where JR was having a phone call with Frank, where he was finding out that John Ross and Pamela were in bed together. And
he wasn't happy.
And he wasn't happy.
Yeah.
And but JR was sitting at South Fork, in his room at South Fork, with a big South Fork window behind him. And Cynthia looked at it and went, okay, this is pretty amazing, and let's go this way. And so Jeff Levitt, our visual effects supervisor, and Brian Raber, who's our co-producer who runs post-production, we had shot the scene in Nuevo Laredo, so we knew where the space was going to be. So they literally went and they took the walls from the hotel room in Nuevo Laredo and rotoscoped out Larry and put the walls from Nuevo Laredo against that scene. And it just made it seamless. But then we ended up with a new problem, which Cynthia will tell you.
But then, we liked that. It was working.
Yeah.
But then it felt like it was just a coda to an episode that Larry wasn't in. And so I didn't think that we had enough emotion from that. So we said, let's just keep looking for other Larry scenes. What else have we shot that either we've used or haven't used, or we can repurpose, or we can reframe or flip the image? And so we found the limo ride, which is from season 1 at the beginning of the episode. And it was just deliciously generic on his side. Oh, nice to hear from you. Was hoping to hear from, it was something that we could write anything to on the other side. And that was the opening of 207. And then Mike and I are watching it, and so it has a wonderful opening and an ending. I'm like, I feel the need for a middle beat.
One more.
So let's keep looking. And then we found that bar scene, which is also from, I think, 108 or 9, from last year. And we thought, if we could only have just filmed Larry in a limo saying generic things, we could have used him for years. So he's in the episode 3 times, and that was Julia Collins' episode. Oh. And she was given all those editors, all the lines, all the Larry lines to cobble together some kind of, conversation. With
and the motel, or the Mexico hotel where he was shot is...
South Fork.
Not only South Fork, but which bedroom is it, or?
Yeah, it's actually...
Mike found that.
Literally, it had existed. South Fork, the interior of South Fork is sort of maintained in its state from the 1980s on the inside. And our stages, we shoot someplace else. We do exteriors at South Fork. But I happened to wander into the Miss Ellie and Jock bedroom at South Fork, and I was like, okay, this wallpaper is the right sort of level of tackiness for what we want for Nuevo Laredo, and so we did that scene at South Fork, and they're maintaining it now. They put a big wall up there, and everybody was. You couldn't go in there, and everybody that goes on their tours is like, what's behind that door? It's like, we can't tell you about that. And so now they get to sort of pull that back, and they're going to maintain it that way.